Now I'd like to introduce the stream winner of Bravo Stream. The winner of Bravo Stream is Javelin. Their school is King's College London. Their country is the United Kingdom.
We're very, very proud to be representing the War Studies Department from KCL. We identified that the amassing of new unregulated platforms for disinformation places a very significant challenge on policymakers to directly prevent disinformation that comes from terrorist groups. So we wanted to instead focus on building resilience in our societies. And we viewed this as a legitimate and a feasible role that NATO could take. It would only expand NATO's role in protecting the security of its member nations. We viewed a couple of main problems that NATO member states face today. First of all, disinformation, which is propagated by terrorist groups themselves, be it ISIS, Boko Haram, or right-wing groups within our societies, but also that malign third-party actors seek to capitalize on these fears and divisions within NATO member societies. It is very easy to try and rely on a technological solution to this, but we took that in general, NATO would be unable to keep up with disinformation technology. Another app would spring up, another group would find somewhere else to be. And in many ways, these measures would be counterproductive or repressive. So we viewed that any policy solution must therefore address the root socio-political grievances that make extremist disinformation effective in dividing our societies. We note already that NATO has two main tracks when it approaches disinformation. First, to understand where it comes from, and two, to engage, to produce counter-narratives and other methods. We want to add a third track to this in NATO's doctrine, to redress the social grievances and to add to the unity of our societies, to make our societies resilient to disinformation. We had three main aims in doing so. That this would, one, recognize that there are a diversity of reasons why societies are vulnerable to disinformation. Two, that it would provide a new novel analysis which would be available to NATO member states, and that from there we would be able to prescribe policy recommendations that will improve our societal resilience. We think this would be feasible within 12 months. We would place it within NATO Stratcom, beef up their staff. It would be internal to existing doctrine, concept, and the experimentation branch, and be relatively low cost, relatively low disruption. But what would come out that would be valuable in our view, that what we created within our slides, was a 5-point disinformation resilience framework. Going from one, where NATO and our researchers identified that there was very limited danger from online disinformation, there would be generally no policy recommendations, up perhaps to level 3, where NATO has identified that there are targeted campaigns by hostile actors and a clear increase in extremist engagement to those vulnerable communities, up to level 5, where those threats are turning from the digital to the physical space. With each assessment in a context-specific way, NATO would then be able to offer policy recommendations. In the short term, this would simply be an output of new analysis and assessment reports that focuses explicitly on the social framework of security. In the medium term, these policy recommendations and offering of expertise and funding will be available to countries and used by NATO member states to increase their security. But in the long term, we want to change NATO doctrine, to increase it, and to add understand and engage the redress function, which would make NATO and its member states more secure. Thank you very much, and good luck to the rest.